Good evening. Tava kathamritam tatta jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhuridajanaha. In our last discussion on the 8th, that is also the Tuesday, we have briefly discussed about the mukti from the Vedantic point of view. The discussion that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was having with the devotees, that it has been recorded on October 2nd, 1884. So from that record we find Sri Ramakrishna, he is now telling, according to Narada, the devotee should sing the name and glories of God. The path of karma is not the right one for the Kali Yuga. Bhakti Yoga is the right path. Do your duties in the world as long as you need them to reap the fruit of the actions of your past lives. But you must develop love for God and be passionately attached to Him. The singing of the name and glories of God destroys the effect of past action. This is a wonderful way Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is describing the path of devotion. There's sometimes some people that think the path of devotion means only rituals. No. Here, this is very clear. As many times we are repeating the name of God with sincerity, with love, with attachment to God, and our past karmas, slowly it is wiping out. So it is all clean because of God. So this he mentioned over here. According to Narada, he mentioned the name, the Narada, who is the great exponent of the Bhakti. So that Narada, he said, the name of the glories of God. Sing the name and the glories of God. This goes together. When we are singing, not the time you have to sing, just you are repeating the name of God. The people, they take mantra diksha and they repeat the mantra, but the mantra when they are pronouncing, it should give the joy as if you are singing. So that is the main meaning, the singing the name of God. And glory. What is the glory? That God is the combination of so many wonderful good qualities. The qualities of God, He is renouncer, He is completely fearless, He is full of love, compassion, and so many good qualities that we see. The most of you know that the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the 26 good qualities that has been listed over there, all that we see present in God. So that is why when we are thinking in that way, all those qualities also slowly manifesting within us, and we can proceed towards God. How? Because our past karmas are removed. What are the past karmas? Because of the karma, which is generating because of the desire, we take this human birth and different births. First is the desire, then the action, and to perform the action we need a body and a mind. So this circle goes on. So the desire pops up, and then to fulfill the desire we need an instrument. So comes the body and the mind, according to the desire, to fulfill the desire. So the same way, sometimes that life is born as an animal, maybe a lion, a tiger, and this and that. Why? Because the desire is like that. So that particular body and mind will give the satisfaction, otherwise human body and mind can't give that satisfaction. And then the human body and mind also sometimes the desires are so slowly in human form he works as a devil like that. So this is the desire. That those desire will slowly become weak and goes away. Why? Taking the holy name of God, repeating the holy name of God, and constantly remembering the glories of God. So that is the effect. Now Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, what is that Bhakta Yogi, Bhakti Yogi? Now the question comes in the Bhagavata. He is also a yogi. He is also trying to get attached. And through the path of devotion. So Bhakti, the Bhakti Yogi or the Bhakta. Bhakta means one who is trying to realize God and to get liberation in that way, then united with God. Otherwise, this unification is necessary. Why? Because we are separate, as if separate. From the Advaitic point of view, we are not. We are only thinking that we are separate. But the Dvaitic point of view, we are separate. Whatever it may be, that one proves that there is a source, original. And from that, a separation has come in whatever way. Maybe that is a complete separation, and maybe it is just imaginary separation. That this separation slowly, and we have to go back to the source, because that is the ultimate joy, ultimate the liberty. So this we have to go. One who is trying to going back through devotion called Bhakti Yogi or the Bhakta. Now in the Bhagavata he said, is asking this question, who is a Bhakti Yogi? Anyone whose interest has been awakened to know God just by hearing about God. So who can be said as a Bhakta? Anyone whose interest has increased to know God, to realize God, just by hearing the name of God is a Bhakti, Bhakta Yogi. This is a Bhakta or the Bhakti Yogi. Sri Ramakrishna Devi is also telling, whoever will try to know God sincerely will surely realize God. He stressed on the word surely. Whoever is trying to realize God sincerely, this is the word, sincerely. At the most of the time we are going to God to try to know God, worshipping God, just out of curiosity, out of tradition, out of the different practices, as because all around people they are doing, so we are also doing. But Sri Ramakrishna says, sincerely, he who is truly earnest to know God will surely see Him. He says, see Him. Take dekha jaye. You can see Him, see God. In person, you can talk to God. So this is the assurances of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. We need yearning to know God, but what is bhakti? Now, I will, before going to all the other conversations of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, I like to give you some of the ideas from Narada Bhakti Sutra. In the Narada Bhakti Sutra, and he has given the different views, different definitions of different great sages about bhakti. So, what is that bhakti? In the very first, that Sa Tashmin Parama Prema Rupa, in the very first verse of the Narada Bhakti Sutra. Very first verse. Sa Tashmin Parama, highest, Prema Rupa. It says bhakti or the devotion means supreme love towards Him. And sa, it means he or she or it or God, it may be. So Narada is not giving any form. It may be it may be he, it may be she. So that full gamut is now open. It is according to you. So sometimes some people will be worshipping God as Father, some people God as Mother, some people God as this and that, whatever it may be. The traditional, the ancient people, they used to worship God in the nature, whatever it may be. Parama Prema Rupa, this is the main thing. He is the highest form of love. Again and again I say, what is that God? God is nothing but two qualities, love and unselfishness. In the Narada Bhakti Sutra, the very first sloka, he is giving the introduction, starting the whole scripture by saying that is nothing but love, Parama Prema Rupa, supreme love. So when he says supreme, that means there is something which is also not supreme. So we will have little discussion over here. Bhagavata, it says, through the practice of devotion, one reaches the state of supreme devotion. The Bhagavata says, by practicing the devotion, one reaches the position of supreme devotion. This is slowly. That's why Swami Vivekananda, he said, we take everything. We never say that we are traveling from the ignorance to knowledge. No. Lower truth to higher truth. Lower truth to higher truth. When we were children, we used to play, and particularly in the Shivaratri, we saw that the elderly people are worshipping Shiva. We children also used to have just play. We never knew what is devotion. But we will be also having a little small, then pouring milk and water, imitating all the senior people, whatever they do, and just to play. And nothing else. But from there you start. And very ordinary people, they'll be worshipping a tree, maybe a cow, maybe a river, maybe a stone, just something. From there they start. And slowly they cannot restrain themselves to visit that particular place and thing which he or she has considered as God. Regular they will go, clean eat, offer some fruits, burn some incense sticks, and slowly devotion. And that is called ritualistic devotion. So Gauni Bhakti, in Sanskrit it's called Gauni Bhakti. It's a lower type of devotion, but without that you cannot think of reaching to the higher devotion. So you cannot, in one day, you cannot simply go on taking the name of God and just behave like the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It cannot. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the moment he will hear the name of Krishna, he will go into trance. Because immediately his mind is going and mixing with the supreme consciousness, which is Krishna, to him. So that was completely different. That's called Parama Prema Rupa, Parama Prema, highest. So what is the beginning? Everything has a beginning. So the first small step is rituals. It's very, very important, these rituals. And when we are doing the rituals, we are very careful that we are not having the nails, and when the flower we are offering, we must be very careful that the flower is completely clean, no insects there inside the flower. When we are offering the fruits, we must see that it is properly, nicely washed, and also as it should be offered to a person to eat, it should be arranged in that way. Sometimes just a coconut we offer to God. How the God will eat it? Do you expect him that he will break it and then we eat it? That means we are just doing that, but we don't have a real love for God. When you are giving the offering means it should be proper. Now we are offering the sweets without knowing that whether it is really good taste or not, whether in a condition or good condition or not. So that means we don't have the love. So that is the reason we cannot make progress in the devotional path. We are doing everything. But at the same time, we are not, if you go to the Hindu temples in India, they will be throwing all the packets on the there itself, just in almost near to the temple, and everything is all water, slashy, and garbages. Do you think God will be happy? Suppose someone gives that same condition and offer you food, and everywhere all dirts, and he offers the food, hey, take it quickly. Do you think you will be able to eat it? If you cannot take that way, how can you expect that God will do? So prema, the love is necessary. When there is no love, I throw coins to a beggar. Just compassion, but no love. And when there is no love, there is no devotion. So we have to understand this. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling Bhakti Yoga is the right path. But what is that Bhakti Yoga? Faith in the existence of God and approach to God with pure love. That is called Bhakti Yoga. If you don't have love, so naturally about the faith is doubtful. You don't know whether the God is there or not. In majority of the places, if you go, I am sorry to say, those who are so close to the God, worshipping God, and getting there, of course, their livelihood from there, I don't think they believe that God is there. That's why they behave so peculiarly, telling lies and cheating people, standing so close to that God whom they are worshipping. So when you experience, then you understand why all through their life they are there in the temple worshipping God but not making any progress in spiritual life. Does it mean that God is not there? Wrong. It is they don't have the love, they don't have the faith. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and also the all great masters, they are telling about it. Satashmin Parama Prema Rupa. That prema, the love comes, it begins with some little faith. The Bhagavata that has been explained by Swami Bhuteshanandaji Maharaj, I think he was the 12th president of the Ramakrishna order. And he said, a person having his household duties also, at the same time, he goes to the temple, he has his devotion, he is praying to God, sometimes he is crying secretly towards God, that please come, please show me who are you, like that. It begins. At the same time, he goes and attends all his duties. It begins like that. That is also a devotee. But it's called Gauni Bhakti, a lower category devotion. Ma Sharadamani Devi, very nicely, is supporting this. She said, if you want the fragrance of the flower in your hand, you have to go on handling the flower. When you are constantly handling the flower, then only slowly, a time will come when without flower, your hands, your fingers will be touched with the smell. So that comes, that means when you are going on slowly offering the devotion, in that way the Parabhakti will come. So Gauni Bhakti, the beginning of the devotion, Parabhakti, the culmination of the devotion. I will quote from here, from the Narada Bhakti Sutra, some of the great sages, that the definitions that they have given about the bhakti, the devotion. And first is the Veda Vyasa. And that is the 16th verse of the Narada Bhakti Sutra. It says, Pujadishu Anuraga iti Parasarya. Parasarya is Vedavyasa. And according to Vedavyasa, Pujadishu Anuraga. Love for puja, the ritualistic systems and associated activities, that is called bhakti. And you will find some people are so fond of puja. They will be arranging things so nicely, they will be cleaning things so nicely and plucking the flowers, arranging the flowers, even offering the flowers. Each and everything is so much aesthetic sense. Each and every day, maybe twice in a day, every time they are doing so nicely and so happy. After making a flower garland, when they are offering, they will go a little distance, they will look at the God, the image, and they will appreciate, oh, it's so nice. My God looks so nice with this garland, with this cloth. So that way, so according to the Vedavyasa, that is devotion. So, Pujadishu Anuraga. Anuraga means love with attachment. That is called Anurag. Love with attachment. I am attached to God. Some of the ladies in the traditional way in our country, and I was wondering, even the young ladies also, the modern ladies, they are also carrying a little, the image of Krishna, sometimes a little image of Ramachandra, and they will be carrying it all through wherever they go. And they pass through when they are traveling by flight, it goes through all the checking, they have to go on explaining every time, but they won't leave. They will carry it every day, they will feed, they will check, just as if they are carrying their little baby. So Pujadishu Anuraga is the love with attachment to what? To the ritualistic thing, puja. According to the Vedavyasa, this is called devotion. Another sage called Garga, and it is the 17th verse, it says, Kathadishu iti Garga. Garga is the name of the sage. He says, rituals, it may not be, but some people, they love to listen to the words of gods. Kathadishu. I read gospel and in Bengali, and Bengali people, majority of them, they have read the gospel. But still, there will be 16,000, 20,000 people, they will be listening to that explanation of the gospel that I do every month once from the Bengali Association. This Bengali Association's the talk, it goes to reaches people, so many people. Why? They love to listen to those words. And according to Garga, the sage Garga, that is called devotion. Kathadishu Garga. And devotional people, particularly the Vaishnavas, they are very fond of reading the Bhagavata. We are reading the Bhagavata. We are still continuing every Sunday, we read over here. And the Bhagavata from the point of view of the knowledge. So accordingly, we are reading that. So this Bhagavata also, the stories of Krishna, that is on the 10th chapter of the Bhagavata, and people are so fond of that. Bhagavata Pandit, the knowledgeable people, they'll be expounding that, narrating that, and in a beautiful way, people goes mad when they listen to the stories of the Krishna. So that is called the Kathadishu. They love to listen and they love to read. That according to the sage Garga, attraction for the stories of God is devotion. Now the third one comes Shandilya, another sage. This Shandilya Muni, they say, Shandilya, he says, Atmarati avirodhena iti bhakti. Atmarati avirodhena iti. Atmarati means the bhakti is the devotion to God as one's own self. He is not going outside. He is from the point of view of the knowledge. He says, when you love yourself, the Atma Rati. Rati means the desire. The desire to know your own Atman. And when you try to know your own Atman, what you are going to do? So obviously, all your mind will be continuously going on thinking about the Atman, how to reach to that Atman, which is within me, is covered with 5 seats. Annamaya, Monomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, all these coverage are there, and I have to reach over there. And you will naturally go on understanding, learning what is this Annamaya Kosha, what is this Manomaya Kosha, the intelligence and all this slowly, so that you can go on opening the door after door, and after the 5 doors, you can reach to that ultimate. So that is called the Atman, and it says Atma Rati. You love to understand that Atman, the self, which is within yourself, and that love, that attachment, that desire is called devotion. So that is Shandilya. And then comes the Narada, about whom Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is referring, and he said the path of Narada is the best for the modern age. This modern age, what is that? Naradastu, according to Narada, Tad Arpita. Tad means that supreme. It is not he or she, it is that consciousness. You can accept it as God or the goddess or whatever, but that consciousness, Arpita, Akhila Acharata. Whatever you are doing, everything should be dedicated to the God. In the morning we do the japa, then we chant the holy name. That is the way, the spiritual practices of the Hindus. All traditional Hindu, they will do that. They will take the name of God. They will read from the books and the chant, etc. Then ultimately, for whom they are doing? To get the blessings of God. But after action, after completing that, they will offer to Arpanamastu. I offer all these to you, O God. So this way, Tad Arpita Akhila Acharata. Achara means the action. Anything that you do. Before eating food, you are offering it. Before going to bed, to sleep, you are offering to God. God, please come. I like to sleep on your lap. Then like this, like each and every moment you are thinking, and Tad Bishmarani, and when you forget, for some reason, if you forget the God, it's a tremendous anguish. Parama Vakulata iti. Someday we will read that Narada Bhakti Sutra in details, then we will explain, we will try to understand each and every word. Tad Vishmarane, Tad means that again, that God, let us accept it as God, and Vishmarane, when we forget that, even for a moment, Paramabakulata, and we feel the anguish. When we love someone and then we forget to do something for him, we go to the market, we purchase something as a gift to give, and then we remember after coming back, oh my God, how come that we forgot to purchase something for the little one? We loved that little so much. So that anguish, what will happen to me now? How I am going to face that little baby? So all like this, that anguish, because I love. So that love gives that much attachment. So tad vishmarane, when you forget paramabakulata iti. And in this modern age, this is very, very effective. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that the path of karma is not the right one for the Kali Yuga. And Swami Vivekananda is telling, through karma, unselfish karma, work, you can reach the same goal where Buddha reached by his knowledge and Christ by his prayer. So, are they different? No. This karma means, the work means, here when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, the Yaga Yajna. Even still now, in many of the Indian societies, even in America, the same thing, they will be lighting a fire. Here it is a hazard. You have to take special permission. You have to make a special room. And even then they will do it. And they are so much attached to that. They will light the fire and they will offer so many things inside that. And they are thinking that this is the karma. That karma, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, this is not possible in the modern age. Why? Because the pronunciation of the mantras, arrangement of the things, of the fire and all, then complete thing that in olden days when the rishis used to do that, it is not possible now. Now suppose you have a laboratory, but that laboratory is not developed as a very developed laboratory where they are developing different type of experiments they are doing. So in your own laboratory, in the village school, there are laboratories are also there. But in so poor condition, they won't be able to find out the truth actually there. The same way, in the present day, our mind is not that way sharp. Those people who are the Purohita, who are sitting at the front, they are not that way trained. Maybe, they may be good people. Maybe they are not. And when they are uttering the mantra, the pronunciation is not perfect. When the perfect pronunciation is not there, the effect is also not there. So you have to use the same old method, then only. So Sri Ramakrishna said, it is very difficult nowadays. In the modern days, you don't get the teacher who will teach you that way. You don't have the time to perform that. You don't have the ingredients to use that. So all these things together, it is not possible. So what then? Bhakti. And what type of bhakti? Naradiya bhakti. What is the Naradiya bhakti? Do whatever you are doing. Only offer it to God at the end of the day. That's all. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna himself said, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapassasi kaunteya tat kurushya madarpanam. Whatever you are doing, each and everything you offer to me. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you don't have to perform duties all your life. He is telling. The duties means the responsibilities. All through your life you need not to do. Slowly you should withdraw. As you develop unalloyed love and longing for God, your duties become fewer and fewer. It becomes really very difficult for the people who never knew what is spirituality. So they were very busy in the beginning when they are growing up. They go to school and then the competition, then this, then that. Ultimately they reach to that mature point and then they find there is nothing to do. Then they try to find some of the clubs where they will go, spend some time. Even that is also not very satisfying. And slowly the frustration comes. And the ladies somehow manages because they have the habit of cooking, cleaning, talking to other people, engaging in. But the male, because they go to office and come back, that's all. And after that, when they suddenly they lose the job, there is no job, then they feel what will happen to us. But that is the good time. When you are retired, that is the best time. Because by this time you have not only understood it, but realized also through your life, all through your life, everything is so temporary, everything is moving out. So I should not be so much attached to this. I was so eager to get the job. I prepared myself for 30 years. Then I got the job. Then another 30 years I worked. Now I see that job is also gone. My education, my preparation, the job, the effect also, now it is gone. Now what? Some of the money that is in our bank and some in the insurances. And I am left alone. What I will do? So this is the time Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you are preparing yourself for the realization of God from the beginning of your life, when you are young, this is the time you will ripe the fruit. And that is the reason why people should start practicing religion when they are young. So they will, that time, they'll be completely mature, and all these things of the world will never affect them. They will never affect them. At the age of 70, 75, if you go to the club and try to dance, you can dance, and people won't say anything, but you yourself will be exhausted. And you yourself feel awkward. That is not the age for doing that. What is that contemplation? And the joy, the love, the sympathy, everything that will come slowly by taking the name of God and meditation, that will come out of your personality. People will be attracted to you. They will come and sit by your side. They will start talking to you. And with all devotion, if you talk to them, encourage them. That is called ultimate sannyasa. So Sri Ramakrishna, you don't have to perform duties all through your life. No, it is not necessary. When the young daughter-in-law is pregnant, her mother-in-law lessens her duties. After the birth of the child, she doesn't have to do any household work. He is giving the example. And slowly, because when you are practicing, early morning you should get up and then go for meditation, then you should bathe, then you should come without taking any food, and then perform the puja, clean everything, then go and take some for the breakfast and start reading the books, then do some karma yoga. Like this whole routine goes on and on. So one young person came to a monastery. He said that I like to join in the monastery. What type of work I should do? Well, these things that we do. Some people are bringing water, some people are maintaining the cows, some are doing these. Very hard work in the ashramas. Everything you should do yourself. Then he found that one gentleman, elderly person, sitting under a tree, and he is talking with some devotees. Then he said, what he is doing, he is the guru. He is teaching the religion to others. He said, oh, I love that work. I like to. So he wants to go to that directly. It is not possible. So you don't have to work. Then he said, several young men from the village of Dakshineshwar entered the room and saluted Sri Ramakrishna. Master Mahasaya is writing. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They sat down and began to talk with the Master. See, if we read in this way, we find that is exactly what the spiritual person does. He is sitting in one place and people are coming, and then he is giving them the idea about religion. Sri Ramakrishna is sitting in a small room, and then the people, young people from the nearby villages, they are coming, they are sitting, and look at it, how they are asking questions. One young man is asking, sir, what is knowledge? That means they know what is bhakti, what is knowledge, the definitions at least. So he is asking the question to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And as in English they say, pat came the reply. Immediately the reply came from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Though apparently the people think that he is a devotee, he is going and crying before the goddess Kali and all that. But how he is giving the reply? It is to know that God is the only reality. What is knowledge? It is to know that God is the only reality and that all else is unreal. That which is the real is called Brahman. He didn't say God. So, have you noticed the difference? He is not mentioning the word God. I read again. It is to know that God is the only reality, R capital, reality, and that all else is unreal. This is one. Again he said that which is real or capital is also called Brahman. And the God also comes under the Maya. So that's why the Brahman is completely consciousness all pervading. From that consciousness, it comes, the first step is that God. It is all another name, Kala, the time. And there is a saying, oh brother, how many things come into being in time and disappear in time. So he is mentioning this. Time is unlimited. The timelessness. There is no time. You cannot limit that within this time. That which sports with Kala, also called Kali. Because Sri Ramakrishna is sitting in the Kali temple. The Kala means the time, and the time when it is working, activated, called Kali. She is the primal energy. Kala and Kali, Brahman and Shakti are indivisible. Sri Ramakrishna didn't use the word Shiva. Shiva Shakti. Shiva and Kali. She said Kali and the Brahman. Brahman and the Shakti. Brahman, that consciousness, and Shakti is the power. And they are inseparable, they are the same. That Brahman of the nature of reality is eternal. He is going on giving that. What is knowledge? People talk about knowledge. It exists in past, present, and future. Eternal, immediately he gives again, explain that past, present, and future. All the time it is there. It is without beginning and without end. It cannot be described in words. The utmost that can be said of Brahman is that it is of the very nature of intelligence and bliss. Utmost. That is not the exact word to explain Brahman, but you can go near to it. What is milk? It is liquid and white. Utmost. Very close to that you can explain. But that liquid and white is not milk. Liquid and white may be many other things. But milk, to explain the milk, you have to drink milk. Then only you will understand what is this milk. So it means in this way that ultimate way we can explain that it is intelligence. The best thing in the whole existence is nothing but intelligence. We all know that. Particularly human world, those who are intelligent, they are respected. So intelligence and bliss. The ultimate intelligence to understand the subtlest of the subtle. And when they understand that, they go in great joy. That is called the bliss. That Brahman of the nature of reality is eternal. The world is illusory. Now, Brahman and the world, two existences. One is the Brahman, another is the world. And what is this world? The world is illusory. Brahman alone is real. Now, world is illusory is a big discussion goes on. And I think this Saturday I'll be giving a talk in the Utah, that city, Salt Lake City. And there the subject is this, the self. So how to go back to the self, and it says in this way, that the world is illusory, Brahman alone is real. The world is the nature of a magic. The magician is real, but his magic is unreal. Sri Ramakrishna is trying hard to explain the creator and the creation. Then the young man is asking, if the world is of the nature of illusion, magic, then why doesn't one get rid of it? He is asking, very intelligent person. He is asking, if it is a magic, it is very easy to get rid of it. Master, it is due to the samskaras, inborn tendencies. What are the samskaras? Inborn tendencies. Repeated births in this world of Maya makes one believe that Maya is real. Repeatedly. When you are having in the same circumstances every time, you start believing, oh, this is this. When the India was subjugated by the foreign rulers and they ruled for 800 years, almost all Indians started thinking that no, we can never get freedom. We will live like this. The life will be like this. So they almost mentally adjusted. So then came Swami Vivekananda, who showed that light, as they call it, silver line in the dark cloud. So the aim, there is a light, you can. And what is that? Self-confidence. You can do it. You can do it. So that way, he gave a Vivekananda effect. What is that Vivekananda effect? What he did brought back the self-confidence into the minds of the 300 million people. So that is so huge number of people. They got inspired because of his saying only these few words. The people will wonder, is it possible? History proves that. So this, he says, it is possible here. Again and again, when you are taking birth in that circumstances, and it makes the Maya. Let me tell you how powerful inborn tendencies are. And then he is giving a small example through a story. A prince had, in a previous birth, been a son of a washerman. While playing with his friends in his incarnation as the prince, though he is now a prince, but the previous birth he was the son of a washerman, and now they are playing, he said to his friends, "Stop those games. I will show you a new one. I shall lie on my belly, and you will beat the clothes on my back as the washerman does." Look at it. So that impression that the washerman in the villages, if you go, you'll see how they're washing the clothes. That is soaked clothes, they're beating on a hard thing. So he knew it. So he's telling, now let us play in a new game. I'll be lying down like this. On my back, you beat the clothes, making a swinging round. So that is, many youngsters come here, but only a few long for God. Ramakrishna is telling. The many they come, the few they long for God. These few are born with spiritual tendencies. These few are born with spiritual tendencies. So this tendency, this samskara, is a very big word. So thank you, friends. Now let us chant this mantra and we conclude here today. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa drita vigraham vai Ishavattaram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.